Alright, so we're just going to run through boning out a turkey. Same concept applies to a chicken or a duck or anything else you want to bone out. It's a good way of serving a turkey for Christmas. Easy to cook consistently and easy to carve on the day. So you just run it straight down the breastbone. Follow the breastbone down until you hit the rib cage, and then just run your knife along the rib cage. Right down the side. You get down to the wing, you'll find the knuckle there, or the wing joint, and just run your knife through that and open it out. You could put a bit of pressure down on the leg once you get there, and you'll see that when you put pressure down, it'll pop the ball joint there, and it'll open that up for you to run the knife through. Still following the rib cage around, keeping as close to the bone as you can, through the wing joint, and round onto the back. Then you can move on to the other side and do exactly the same on the other side. Down the breastbone. This turkey's got a bit of damage in the leg. He's been scrapping with all the others, but it's alright because we'll cut it out as we get to it. So once again, down the breastbone and around the rib cage, just like the other side. Follow the wishbone down until you get to the wing joint. Down the side of the leg. And just put a bit of weight on that leg, pop that joint. And there's the joint there, put the tip of your knife through it and open it out. Same with the wing joint too, just you'll find the ball joint there and just split it through the middle with the knife and then on down. Once you get onto the back of it, you stand the carcass up and cut from the neck down. Be careful on the back because the skin's thin and it's quite easy to cut through. You want to leave the skin intact on the back as much as possible because that's what holds your rolled roast together. Straight on down the back, just running your knife against the bone. Make sure you take it as much as meat as possible. Keep on trimming down, right down till you get to the base of the tail. And when you get to the base of the tail there, just cut it off. You don't want the tail and the meat. That can stay on the carcass. It's only got glands in it and they're not very tasty. And once you've done that, flip it over so it's skin side down. Skin side up, sorry. Cut through the wing joint. Take the wings off at the first knuckle, and we do the same with the legs as well. So just cut through that joint when you find it. Through the knee joint there. The drumsticks and the wings, I just chuck them in with the rest of the turkey. Once you cut them all off, roll it over, lie it skin side down. Start working away, cut the bone joint there. Trim the meat away from the top. Once you get down onto the bone and it's cleaned up, then you can just give the bone a pull and it'll come away. And trim the end off. Do the same on the other wing. And then once that's done, then you can do the two thigh bones as well. Exactly the same concept. Cut the meat away till you're clean on the bone and then pull the bone and out it'll come. Just like so. Cut that off at the end. Alright, now we're going to prepare a stuffing. So here's, I've cooked up some bacon and onion in the pan. It's just soft now. Just do that to release the flavour a bit more. Then we're going to tip that into the blender. Then we want to add in some cashews. Add a good amount of cashews. They form the bulk of the stuffing, so shovel them in there as well. And then we've got some cranberries. Get a good lot of them in there as well. They go well with turkey and chicken. You can substitute apricots in or anything else that you may prefer, but I quite enjoy the old cranberries, and they go. Then we'll give it a good grind of salt and pepper. And you may have noticed I've got a couple of slices of bread sitting here, and I use those. They just bulk the stuffing out and make a bit more of it. So I just shred that and tip it in as well. And then the last thing on the list of secret ingredients, I've got an egg. What the egg does is it just binds it all together. It stops it from becoming too crumbly. So get him in there as well. So put the lid on the blender. Chuck them on the base and then pulse it a few times just to combine it all nicely. Hit the button. Keep on pulsing it till it's all combined nicely. There she is, all ready to go. Looking good. Lay the turkey out skin side down. Season it with a little bit of salt and pepper first. And then pile your stuffing on top. Scoop it all on there. Get a good layer on there. You want a thick layer of stuffing in there. Pat that down. Press it in quite firm, and then it'll form a layer there. Work it into all the little joints. And then just start rolling her up from one end. Try and keep it reasonably tight. Roll away. Roll her all the way up, and then just tuck the ends in just to make it look a little bit more presentable. And then we can start tying it. Now, as you can see, I just run my string past, and I just tie a couple of granny knots or a couple of S knots. More grannies in an old folks' home. Now, no doubt some butcher will tell me this isn't the right way to do it, which I'm well aware of, but seems to work, and that's the way I do it. I don't know any other way, and it'll do the trick for you too. Make sure you don't use a plastic string, or it will melt when you cook it, and that's not that flash. So I normally tie my strings about 2 inches apart, 2 inches or 1.5 inches, and they seem to hold it quite nicely. Put a couple more through the middle. Now today I'm going to cook mine in an oven bag. I sometimes do, I sometimes don't. I've decided to give it a whirl today in the oven bag. The bag I had, unfortunately, was a little bit small, as you'll be able to see shortly, and she was a bit of a tight squeeze to fit the rolled roast inside, but still seemed to work alright, so it's a bonus. So here you go, here's the small oven bag. As you can see, I don't have much left to work with, and all I do with mine, I just tie them shut with a piece of spare string. You can use a twisty or whatever else you want. So we tie it shut. I've got the oven preheated to 180 degrees, and we'll probably give it about an hour 15 out to an hour and a half, and we'll test it then and see how it's getting on. And I'll put the 2 little wings and the drumsticks in there as well to cook into the oven, and we'll let it do its thing. Alright, it's an hour and 15 minutes into the cooking, and it's looking pretty good. I think I'll leave it here to rest for a few minutes, another 15-20 minutes resting, and then onto the chopping board. So here she is on the chopping board, all ready to cut up. It's looking pretty good at this stage. So just start slicing from one end and just pull the strings out as you get to them, so you don't end up with string being cut into your meat. And she's looking pretty primo. Alright, so we're carving it up here, slicing through. It seems to be cooked pretty well. As you can see, nice and easy to carve, quick and easy. Just pull the strings aside as you get to them. And there she is, the finished item.